everyone, Stephanie Denman from the Denman Homestead here, and today I'm going to show you something that I've been working on for a little bit. Can you see them? Honey sticks. So I've taken our own honey from our bees and I'm making honey sticks with them, and they make really great gifts or in a gift basket or a tea set, or Buddy and I have gone on hikes before and taken these honey sticks with us for a little extra energy, or in our overnight hike we put them in our coffee the next morning, and they're really great just single serve if you're into honey. These are really cool. So let me show you how I make them and what I've got going on over here at this table. Alright, here's what I've got going on. Is that a syringe? Yes it is. It's got honey in it. And I will show you how I do everything. Okay, so a little bit about my setup. I have this, it's like a heat press. It's a plastic film sealer. So you can put Mylar bags or other certain bags that you can basically seal any plastic in this. It's not a vacuum sealer, but it seals any plastic. And it has a temperature gauge on the side of it. And all you do is you press this and it turns on and it seals. And you'll have to mess around with the settings depending on how thick your plastic is. So I suggest using like just a plain straw and pressing down on it until you find that the seal is where you want it. So what I do is I take my honey and I put it in a pot on the table, and this just has some warm water in it. It's not boiling. But what it does is it helps me to draw up the honey in my syringe. This syringe does not have a needle on it. It's just a regular syringe that you can get at like the feed store. And I just put it down in my honey pot. Let me see if I can show you. In my honey jar here. And I just draw it up in my syringe. And I know that other people have like different ways of doing this for themselves, but this is just the way that I do it. It's materials I had on hand, and I didn't really have to buy anything fancy or a fancy machine or anything like that. So I do that, and these are just regular plastic straws. I bought them in bulk. Thanks, Amazon. And I basically take my straw here, and I just put the tip of this on here like that. And you can see here in a second that the honey will start to go down in the straw. Well, it's hard whenever it's full. Let's see. There we go. So the honey is going to start to go down. Now, when it gets towards the end, I slow down and I leave about an inch at the end because I'm going to let this honey kind of go all the way down just a little bit, just enough to seal it. And I stick this in my sealer here, my plastic sealer, and I hold it down for a few seconds, like 5 seconds. Let it get sealed. And there you go. Got a good seal on that. So if you notice that there's any honey leaking out of the bottom, you have a broken seal and this is going to make a big mess later. So you may want to redo that or snip the end and squeeze some of that honey back out, and that way you can try again. But so basically what you're looking for is just a clean, I don't know if you can tell if it's too blurry or not, but a clean seal on one end. Now what I do is once I've sealed a bunch of ends, I just pop them in a cup and I let that top honey layer settle. So I just kind of let that honey that I filled up settle. If I had any remnants at the top, there might be a little bit of honey up there, and that's okay. The plastic will still seal on top, but you just don't want a whole lot of honey coating the top. So I just let it kind of settle in this cup here. And I just have an assembly line and I just keep going. And I listen to music or a podcast. This is what I do. I'm just filling it up. Stopping towards the end. then I do have a little wet rag here. It's like a damp paper towel, and I just wipe the top of it, just in case when I put the syringe on the tip, if it got any honey on the outside of the plastic, I just kind of wipe it like this, just kind of twist it in this little paper towel and put it in my cup. Now, when I'm getting ready to seal these, completely seal the tops, I'll just take them and I'll pop them in the sealer on the other end. And I want to kind of make sure, I try to make sure that the sealed end on this tip is going to be the same kind of direction as this way, and not, sometimes they get going and they're a little bit, yeah, I see that. They're a little crooked, but I try to make sure that they're at least somewhat in the same direction. It just makes them look nicer. And I don't stick the straw where it's any like overhang. I just basically lay it to where it's even on the heat strip, and it gives it a nice seal. And there you go, there's your extra sealed on the other side. So you've got a completely sealed honey stick. And then I will just keep on going with this, and in the end, I'll show you what I do to make these little bundles. All right, and we're back. Ooh, I almost dropped some. I got a whole big bunch. So now what I'm gonna do is I have, and this is totally like optional, but I just bought some of these little tags at a craft store, and I have got a few different stamps. This one is really cute because it says thank you, and it has a little bee on it. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a little bee flying around, and I just basically stamp each one of these tags, and then I tie these in bundles. So I think it'll look really cute. Like if you sell them at farmers markets or for whatever you're doing. It's just a personal touch. I think it looks nice. And yeah, you can just zone out and sit down and do your craft. And that's what I do to make these. And then on the back of these cards, I'll just put what this is. So like a bundle of 15 honey sticks. And oh, before I forget, each one of these honey sticks, I measured them. I squeezed one out into a measuring cup, and it's just under a teaspoon. Like, I mean, barely, it's almost a teaspoon each. So if you wanted a serving size, it's almost a teaspoon. So, and then I just have a little thing of twine. So I'll just cut off some of this twine and wrap it around a few times, secure the bundle, and tie on my tag. And that's how you get your honey stick bundle. So, thank you so much for joining me today on this craft. It's a really fun thing to do if you are into honey, or if you've got a little farmer's stand or farmer's market, or if you're just wanting to make your own gifts, gift baskets or Christmas ideas or whatever it is. If you're into homemade stuff, like these are pretty fun to do and easy to make, and it's pretty sweet. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye guys.